Hey everyone, it's Matthew. I wanted to talk a little bit about the Houseplant Social that's coming up this Friday, April 22nd from 5 to 8. There are going to be adult beverages, there's going to be non-alcoholic beverages, there's going to be hors d'oeuvres. All ticket holders will get 20% off all houseplants that evening between 5 and 8 p.m. And there's going to be a lot of talk about plants and their roles and how they affect our lives. There's going to be a lot of people here who are into plants. There's going to be a lot of time to share ideas, tips, and tricks, and experiences you've had with growing houseplants, or even plants outdoors. It's just going to be a general plant social, but it will be focused on houseplants. I did receive a large shipment this past Friday, just a few days ago. So if you will join me, we're going to walk into the greenhouse and take a look, give you guys a sneak peek at some of the interesting plants we got in. Now, some of these plants I have never seen before, and I've been doing this for over 20 years. So it's exciting for me as well. So I know there are lots of places that sell houseplants, and some places get them in, and we'll get some plants in, and it's just, there's no rhyme or reason to what's coming in, what's available, what's not available. But I will say it is a race. All these growers and all these buyers, not only here in Florida, but all across the country, are all trying to get the same plants at the same time. And that has been driving prices up. So we are now experiencing a inflation of plant prices because of the demand. I am trying to keep the prices as reasonable as possible. But with all that said, I just want to show you some really, really cool plants that have come in. I got a few of them right here. This is the Alocasia Quilted Dreams. It has a very textured leaf on it. This is probably the Alocasia with the most texture. It's got dimples, divots, nooks, and crannies. It's really interesting. They actually came in flowering. So these are very mature plants. They are blooming age and blooming size right here. So they are blossoming currently. We also have the Alocasia Silver Dragon, which is really beautiful. That silvery gray, almost white foliage with the dark veins, very beautiful. I also have a Philodendron Royal Queen. This one here is really cool. If you look at all the new growth, extremely red, almost like a Merlot, like a wine color. Could be like Cabernet, I guess, any red wine. Whatever your preference is, you can call it that. So we have a pair of these in, which are very unusual. This is something I had never even heard of before. So we're also starting to see plants that just have not traditionally been in our wheelhouse. But this is the Piper Crocado. Very cool. The foliage, very distinct. Got a lot of color on the front side, but the back sides, look at the different tones. So it starts kind of a reddish, kind of burgundy, and then it kind of gets into some purple colors on the back. Very cool. Lots of different tones on that. We also have a Philodendron Bloody Mary, which is really cool. So you can sit with a bottle of vodka and appreciate your plants on your patio. But this is a really cool Philodendron, also with a lot of red on the stems and also on the new growth. Well, I passed by something that I never thought was a thing. Who would have? But this is the Cebu Blue Pothos. So this is in the Pothos family. It's kind of got a bluish green hue to it. You can see the leaves that are more slender, elongated, a different shaped leaf than most Pothos, but trailing just like its cousins. But a very nice petite Pothos. I got lots of these in 4-inch containers. There's still a lot of them right now. What will happen after, I'm not sure. This is a fun one here. This is the Philodendron Fuzzy Petiole. So it's got, on the petioles here, they got these little bumps. Got a lot of texture on it. It's kind of, might be hard to pick up on the camera there, but trust me, you come in, it kind of feels like a very soft sandpaper on the petioles. Really nice leaf too, with a lot of texture on it. You can see that the newer growth is lighter, and then as it matures, and it's kind of got some reddish tones that play as brown. So you know, when you mix red and green, you get kind of a brown hue. So that's a really nice Philodendron that I've never seen before. We also have the Silver Sword. You know, not super rare, but has been very difficult to come by. I've been trying to get a hold of this for months and months. Finally, it was available when I placed the order for these plants. But the silver sword philodendron, another really nice, easy to care for variety, which is right next to the Ceylon or Ceylon philodendron here, which is a bright chartreuse with kind of a coral colored stem on it, which is very attractive. These are a true climbing philodendron, so with a moss pole or a trellis, something, give that some support. It's going to need that as it grows. Behind me here on this side, got a lot of really fun bromeliads in. I don't know if any of you have really dove deep into the world of bromeliads, but there are hundreds and hundreds of varieties, and here in Northeast Florida we can grow a lot of these interesting bromeliads with very little care. Besides keeping them watered, there's really not much to do. They are really kind of a set it and forget it kind of plant, but the impact of the color on the leaves, the stripes, the splotches, the blossoms, really cool. Nice addition to a shady garden or a shady spot in the patio, indoors for a period of time if you keep it moist, and maybe with a humidifier. They do kind of like that moist, humid environment most of the time. I have another fun philodendron right here. This one here is the Imperial Red. Look how dark that is. So again, kind of talking about that brown that you get. So when you're mixing red and green, those hues on the leaves almost play as browns, which is really cool. But this is a really nice, easy to grow philodendron. I'm going to leave a few mysteries. There are some other plants that we got in as well. But join us this Friday between 5 and 8. We're going to be having a great time talking about plants, and hope you can join us 5 to 8, April 22nd.